Let me turn it back over to Cindy. There's victims on both sides of this crash, all around. There's always all victims on all sides. How do you feel about the trial and the sentencing for your son, Ben?
I believe that the sentencing was fair.
Mm-hmm.
I, at very many points, was afraid that Ben was going to go to state penitentiary if he was convicted, and that was our fear. And we did not want him to be there. You know, we knew that, and of course Ben knew that he needed to serve some type of sentence. But I believe that this, you know, the way the sentence is now, has a much greater impact on the community, and you know, the people that Linda and Ben reach out to speak with, I feel has a great impact.
So how many hours have you all spoken together in Pennsylvania or Maryland?
Well,
more than we'd like to count.
Yeah, I just figured out it's probably about 46, 48. Yeah, in the past year.
So you have reached out to a lot of folks.
A lot.
Yeah. And that really is powerful. Thank you, Cindy. I'd like to turn it back over to Linda. You've been grieving for 25 months approximately. Would you share how your feelings are about your loss and how it is every day?
Oh, that's a tough one. He's, I think, in our thoughts all the time. You know, the holidays are hard. You know, certain days are real hard. His sister struggles every day. Not every day, but she has her moments. She's going away to college, and I'm worried about her. You know, Justin's birthday's 5 days after she starts class, and she's going to Boston, which is right out, you know, at Fenway Park, which is where he loved. You know, that was his favorite place. I think you just wake up. I wake up every day, and I just kind of say, okay, what are you going to do today? And I keep my calendar as busy as I can, and work a lot. You know, we have a softball tournament now in his honor that we just completed the 3rd annual one, and raised a lot of money for scholarships. And you know, we award 2 scholarships in his name every year to Parkland, and also contribute to the Lehigh Valley Miracle League, which is a softball field that they build for handicapped children. So it's a great thing for us to be involved with in his name. And I think, you know, what you do is you just try to honor him, and, you know, any way you can, and you never forget him. You just can't. And I think you just kind of go through every day, and then at night you say a prayer, and you hope the next day's a little easier.
How about your family life? Your husband, how is he dealing with this?
It's the same thing for him. I think he misses more of the future that we would have had with Justin. He thinks more about, you know, if he was in school, we'd be doing this and we'd be doing that, and he'd be playing baseball, and we'd be looking at going to his games and stuff, whereas I kind of dwell more on the memories in the past. So I think grieve about him differently. I just grieve about the kid, you know, he lost, and I think Elliot grieves about the kid that we're not going to have anymore. So it's just a little different way to look at it.
So you're doing as well as you possibly can.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
And you're here making a difference today.
Yeah, I'm trying. It's, you know, it's hard. We're not the same people. We went to an orientation at BU last week for Sasha, and we were sitting at a table, and, you know, the other parents start talking, and they're very happy and they're very excited. We are too. We're very excited about Sasha being there, and they start talking about their other children. And, well, is this your first one to go away to college? Is this, you know, what is this? And I had to get up and leave the table. I couldn't answer, and I couldn't go there. And we decided we just couldn't be at the cocktail party that night. It's just too hard. It's just not where we are right now. And so the grief just comes up at funny times, and when you're in situations where you're just not able to really respond and connect. And so we feel very left out, I think. We feel very unconnected with groups like that, whereas before we would have been right in the middle of it, you know, going, talking, and going to the cocktail party, being, you know, a happy participant, and we just can't do that right now.
Turning back to Cindy, how has your family been dealing with this tragedy?
In the very beginning, it was very difficult. A lot of emotion, a lot of, on my part, and I still have difficulty with the fact that I have Benjamin and Linda doesn't have Justin. That's very difficult for me as a mother to know that. And, you know, just to listen to her speak, and, you know, when we're speaking back and forth, and to know how much grief she has. That's difficult for me. And dealing with the fact that when I close my eyes, I can picture everything that has occurred. It's hard to get rid of all that. You know, the newspaper articles, the news, you know, seeing the car, like I did the day after. It's difficult. I know that it'll never completely go away. It's just, you know, trying to deal with it every day. And, you know, most days are pretty good, but then, you know, they're like the day of you know, the anniversary. It's difficult.
Right.
And, you know, the holidays, I think, you know, about Linda and her family. So as a mother to mother, it's difficult.
You've been doing a lot of traveling with Ben, doing this public speaking. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good in a way that we are talking about it, and we talk about it as both sides, you know, both families. Right. And like I said, it's difficult to hear it again and again, and I'm sure Linda, you know, would agree to that. You know, it's gets to different parts of the speech, and you know it's difficult for any one of us when we come to you know, how we speak. But I think it is a little bit of a healing, you know, to talk about it, although it's very difficult at times.
You probably get some pretty good feedback on
Oh, yes, we do. And in the beginning, we didn't get as many questions as what we had toward the end. You know, the audiences seemed to be more open with the questions, and I think only because we've had the press on our speaking, and it's gotten around to the schools. So, you know, when we do come to speak, I think the kids are a little bit more prepared with questions, and we pretty much get some of the same questions.
I know you and Ben spoke at the Stephen Decatur Primetime program. How did the kids react to you over there?
I think they reacted very well. It was a very good presentation. I think it was one of the most difficult ones for Ben and myself to do.
Is that your first time back in the area after the crash?
Yes. Well, I had been back and forth with Ben being down at the jail, at the detention center. So, you know, I made very frequent trips back to the area. But, you know, to speak about it was the first time.
I don't think I mentioned this, but I asked this question, but how much time did Ben actually serve in jail?
He was there from February 6th until July 3rd.
And you think it's had a major impact on his behavior?
Absolutely, yes.
You've seen it change?
Yes, and, you know, he's had his moments, you know, throughout the past year and trying to deal with it mentally. And I think that's going to be an ongoing process for him.
And this public speaking, that's helped him as well?
I believe it has.
Being able to reach out to
Absolutely.
kids and adults.
And he does very well with the speaking.
I did hear that program at Stephen Decatur. He did a wonderful job.
And it was the first time that, being back, that he saw his attorney, and the warden came up to see him speak. So it was a very emotional time for Ben and those individuals.